It was a quiet evening when a young lioness named Kiara found herself at the edge of the Pride Lands. She wasn't supposed to be there. Her father had warned her to stay away from the border. But here she was, walking along the old rocks that marked where her world ended. On the other side of that border was the Outlands, a harsh place where survival was all anyone knew. That's where Kovu lived. He'd been watching from the cliffs when he spotted her. Something made him freeze. Their eyes met across the distance, cracked earth between them, a sky turning orange. Neither said anything. They just stared. As twilight settled, they were both still there, sitting near the border. Neither left. When Kiara looked at him, there was something softer in her face, a small smile. When darkness came, they walked together. Same direction. Morning brought them back to the same spot. An acacia tree became their meeting place. They rested by a stream where water still flowed. It was peaceful there. Kiara made those low sounds lions use to communicate. Kovu listened carefully. For someone from the Outlands, this was new. They walked through tall grass together, started playing by the water, swatting at each other. The caution from their first meeting was gone. Under the tree's shade, they sat close, very close. When birds flew overhead, they both looked up at the same time. Then Kovu pressed his forehead against hers, gentle but firm. It's how lions show they care. But evening came. They had to return to their own territories. Long shadows stretched across the border. This secret couldn't last forever. When Kiara headed home, dark clouds were gathering. The air felt wrong, heavy. At their spot, Kovu waited, but the sky got dark too fast. Then they appeared. Pride Land's lions coming from every direction, circling him. They called him a spy, a traitor. Kiara heard it and ran. When she arrived, Kovu was surrounded. Thunder overhead, lightning flashing. She didn't slow down. She shoved through and put herself in front of him. Rain started falling. But they pushed Kovu out anyway, forced him back toward the Outlands. He had no choice. Kiara stood in the rain watching him disappear. She couldn't stop it. Kovu walked into the Outlands alone. Cracked ground, sharp rocks everywhere, completely alone. Days crawled by. Kiara sat on Pride Rock, barely moving. Below, the kingdom was drying up. In the Outlands, Kovu walked under brutal sun. No shade, no relief. The drought got worse. Rivers dried completely. Grass turned to dust. Then smoke appeared on the horizon. Kovu saw it, and his head jerked up. Fire spread fast across the dried plains. Orange flames everywhere. The land was burning. From Pride Rock, Kiara watched the approaching flames. Then her expression changed. She walked off Pride Rock alone, didn't look back. They met in the middle of the chaos, and immediately started arguing. Everything they'd held back came pouring out. Then rain started falling. As it washed the ash away, the fight drained too. Their voices got quieter, then stopped. Their eyes met again, and something clicked. They turned at the same time, started running together. They helped animals escape, guiding zebras, directing antelope. Rain poured harder. The fire started losing. Eventually the rain won. Fire died out section by section. Steam rose where water hit hot earth. They walked back toward the Pride Lands together. Kiara stood next to Kovu. Around them, tiny green shoots pushed through burned ground. The Pride Lands lions stepped back, made space. Kovu walked through. No ceremony. Flowers bloomed through the ash. A rainbow curved across the clearing sky. Where there was conflict, there was peace now. They rested under their acacia tree, grass growing back around them. At the stream, water flowed freely. They played in it again. At sunset, they sat on Pride Rock. The sky turned red and gold. They pressed foreheads together. After everything, they were still here. Night filled with stars. Dawn broke with soft light. They watched the sun rise together. Below them, animals moved peacefully, life flowing naturally. They stood beneath the open sky, standing as equals. The border that separated their worlds, just dirt and grass now. They crossed it freely. Nobody noticed anymore. They walked through thriving savanna, grass swaying in the breeze. Clouds drifted overhead. At sunrise, they stood looking at green land everywhere. Life had returned. They started walking toward the horizon, side by side, moving as one. The savannah was alive again, animals everywhere, herds moving, birds flying, the kingdom thriving. In the shade, they rested close together, bodies touching, peaceful. At sunset, they stood on a hill, their silhouettes dark against the glowing sky, the sun massive behind them. On Pride Rock, they watched the lands flourish below. Lush grass, abundant trees, flowers everywhere. Their leadership brought prosperity. They walked through golden grass, afternoon sunlight making everything glow. Their steps in sync. Near Pride Rock, they shared a quiet moment, sitting very close, faces near, gentle affection in their eyes. From high above, they overlooked the thriving savannah at sunrise. The entire landscape spread below. Rolling plains, rivers, herds of animals, the beauty of their kingdom. They stood framed by tall grass and distant hills, looking regal, confident. Beneath the vast sky, they stood together, wind blowing their fur, standing as equals, united. They walked toward the horizon, the sun setting ahead, walking side by side into their future. On a hill, they paused. They looked at each other, smiled softly, eyes locked, deep love and connection. At sunrise, they stood together as silhouettes against the spectacular golden sky. Rays of light streaming out, symbolizing unity, love, hope, and a bright future ahead. Two lions from different worlds who crossed a line nobody thought could be crossed, and changed everything.
Thank you for joining me for another remarkable love story from the animal kingdom. If today's journey touched your heart, imagine what else is waiting out there. Bonds, partnerships, and connections more magical than fiction. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss the next story unfolding beneath the waves, above the trees, or deep in the wild.